Show me what you got.
How's it going, guys and geeks? Welcome back to the Geekritique Show. We're your hosts. I'm Jen.
I'm Dakota.
And we're going to talk about what we want from Stranger Things.
Yes, future seasons 3, 4, and 5. I think that's as many as have been confirmed. I think the Duffer Brothers have...
The Duffer Brothers. I think the duffel bags had enough.
I think the Duffer Brothers have stated that they want a 5-season arc for these characters in Hawkins, Indiana, which is awesome. I'm very excited at the fact that they have kind of planned that far ahead. And I hope it doesn't keep going after that. I want it to be a really strong 5-season arc. We were really worried this past season, or I was worried that they were going to go so heavy on the graphics that it would affect the storyline, but that was not the case. They really stuck.
They pulled through.
They pulled through. They got an awesome storyline for the season 2. But now we're going to talk about what we can see, open ends that have kind of been left for us to decipher and wait to see how they are fulfilled. Guys, if you haven't already checked it out, we did a review of the show yesterday. You can click the card right here to see our full review of Season 2 of Stranger Things.
We are wearing the same exact clothes. Odd coincidence.
Odd coincidence. It has nothing to do with the fact that we filmed it at the same time. And tomorrow, we'll probably have the same clothes again as we discuss a special Stranger Things game that you guys can play with your friends. It's a guessing game. It's also probably...
potentially a drinking game.
Potentially a drinking game that, if done wrong, could be very dangerous. It's called Will Call. So check that out tomorrow if you guys are still here. If you haven't already subscribed, do so. And be sure to hit the notification button so you can participate in our Geekly polls that we do every Sunday. This past Sunday we released our Stranger Things Is it better than season 1 was poll, and so far like over 150 of you guys have,
which is awesome. So thank you for everyone who has, and if you haven't, go do it.
Yeah, and Thursday we'll actually be responding to those questions. So subscribe, get the notification, comment your thoughts in our poll. We'll get back to you on Thursday. See you then.
See you then.
But actually, we'll see you right now because we're talking about what's happening next in Stranger Things. Any thoughts off the bat?
Off the bat, this is something that I've been thinking. So last season, the focus was more on Mike. This season, I would say that the focus was more on Dustin. And I feel like since there are 5 members of the party and 5 seasons, we're going to have it where every season focuses a little more on just one of the characters. Just
Maybe.
a thought of mine. Not that it wasn't completely told through Dustin's point of view, but neither was last season with Mike. Like, there were still, like, he was more focused on him, but then there were a lot of branching off, with, like, Nancy and Steve or Jonathan and things like that. But this season did seem like, Mike had his own kind of story arc and everybody was helping him out. Right. Whereas last season, that was Mike. So I think it's kind of cool, and I would enjoy if they did that.
I would actually argue that where you think Dustin got the majority of the screen time this time around, it was equally shared between Will, Dustin, and Lucas.
Yeah.
So I would say next season I would want Max to kind of
Is she in the party though? We don't really know.
She's in the party.
I don't take her in the party yet. She hasn't earned her rights.
Are you kidding? Max is in the party. Max is totally tubular. She is in the party. She's awesome. I love Max already. And the fact that she has such a strong antagonist attached to her, literally, by family. She's worthy of like getting a good storyline where she's able to overcome the threat that is her brother. And I think next season we're going to see a lot more of, I think they called him Billy. I forget if that's his actual name, but we never got a solid indication that he knew what was happening in Hawkins.
Yeah, that's true. The season kind of ended with like, we're not going to talk about that. I liked.
It almost felt like they wrote him in to learn about what's happening in terms of like Hawkins and the labs there, but they didn't, and they chose to go around that character by putting him to sleep in that one scene.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder if he originally had more to do with the plot and...
Or maybe they decided to push it back into
Yeah.
the next seasons. He looked a lot like Robert Downey Jr.
In some scenes,
Yeah.
like the way his eyes and eyelashes were kind of...
It just kind of looked like him. Yeah. Yeah, so I think we will learn a little bit more. I really liked that they put in, like, their family dynamics with, like, the two families merging together. It's, like, a really crappy Brady Bunch.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was really realistically done, so learning more about them in future seasons. Because they kind of portrayed it like he's not so much the villain, but his father's actually even worse than he is. And I wonder if that's going to come up in next seasons also, where Max's dad is kind of a psycho.
Yeah, maybe. We're kind of left at the end of the season with Will losing the connection with that big monster, and then 11 closes the gate. But we see, while they're at the snowball, this thing is basically on top of them. In a parallel reality. Like, he's
I feel like
almost
they
watching
really
over
pissed
them.
it off.
I wonder what he's capable of seeing in like the regular world, because it is a parallel universe. From what we've seen of the Upside Down, it's literally almost a mirror image of what life is like on Earth, just dark. So I kind of want to see more of what's happening in the Upside Down, especially like with cars and like how buildings are constructed, because how are all those things existing? Like there's literal cars that are like in a state of decay in the Upside Down. I almost want to see a scene where there's just like a car like moving in reverse or something awkward, something that is just unnatural to see when something is like there's no one in it or anything. I don't know. I want to see more of the Upside Down.
It just dawned on me that, because you know that they have to kind of go back to the Upside Down next season. Like, that's definitely not, like, they may have closed the wall or whatever.
It's non-negotiable.
It's just not, like, it's not possible that they're not going back to that. And I feel like we still need to see so much more of what the big shadow monster thing can do. Do you think that Hopper is at all attached to the Upside Down? Because when he went in there and fell asleep, and then when he woke up, he puked up that thing. But I wonder if then... No, that doesn't make any sense, because then when they... Well, they never killed the big monster. Like, what happened? Because they said kind of like if you destroy the head of something, then all of the other things attached to it will die. But they didn't kill it.
That was Will while he was telling them what to do.
Oh, that's true.
That's what the monster wanted them to think.
That's true. Because they closed the door, and I feel like what happened to all those, like, what did Dustin call them? Demidog? Was it Demidog?
Yeah, it was Demidog.
I feel like them closing the portal, like, did that kill the Demidogs? Would that have severed any connection that the Upside Down has to Hopper? Because even, like, in the last season, we saw Will puke up that thing, and...
Will was in the Upside Down a lot longer than Hopper, though.
Yeah, that's true, but Hopper did puke up one of those things. It's the same exact thing that happened to Will. It just didn't happen at, like, the very last scene.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see if that has any lasting impact on him.
Either way, someone's going to open up the gate again out of curiosity. And I think if it's not... It has
to be 11, or would it be her sister?
Well, what I think is probably going to happen is... Now that the gate is closed, either something's going to try to break out, or some new player is going to try to break in. I'm thinking, this is a parallel to, I guess, Jurassic Park 2 with InGen coming in and taking over Hammond's work by trying to, it's another company coming in and basically trying to seize the property that was just abandoned. Mm-hmm. I have a feeling there's going to be another company that shows up and is kind of competing for this scientific breakthrough.
Oh, that's true. And they did kind of hint to that this season, because the guy, I forget his name, said, like, what do you think would happen if anyone else found out about this? They would view it as a weapon.
Exactly. I feel like
that's true.
Probably.
Yeah, they hinted at that heavily.
And I wonder if there are any other places in the world where this is happening.
That's true.
Because we haven't seen the white-haired guy. I forget his name. I think it's Ben, maybe? Papa. Let's just call him Papa. We haven't seen Papa this past season, and it was kind of introduced to us, the notion that he might still be alive. Mm-hmm. We don't know that for a fact because Eleven hasn't searched for him.
And I wonder if 11 will search for him now that this is all... Because she kind of had to leave because she knew her friends were in danger. So that put, like, a timestamp on things. But I wonder if she didn't know that, if she would have stayed with her sister to find him.
Speaking of her sister, we're definitely seeing her again. And probably some of the other kids who are still alive.
Yeah.
We don't know how many have survived that treatment.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't know if many of them would have survived, but I'm sure there's going to be a few others. The one that I would be really excited to see would be number 1. Because it's like, they must have been, like, the scientists must have been absolutely at their worst. Like, they had no idea what they were doing. So, by the time 11 came around, I think she was their last one. And she was probably their most successful.
Yeah.
And then she escaped. But you have to wonder, you know, what else. I wonder if there's any way that they can get records from that guy now that the, like, you know, the new manager, I don't know, for lack of a better word, is there. Like, maybe they can find some answers as to who else, you know, was studied on and where they lived. Because he recognized 11, so he has access to the files.
That's true. Also, this is a little off topic a little bit. It just came to me. Now that Bob the Brain is out of the picture, Hopper and Winona Ryder's character, I always forget her name. What's her name in the show?
Joyce.
Joyce. They're definitely getting together.
Yeah, I think so too. It's just weird because they're so close that it's like, how have they not even considered it?
There's definitely a tension there.
Like, you know Hopper's thinking it, but I feel like Joyce is kind of, like, she's always going through some emotional trauma, but the fact that she relied on him to take her son to the hospital, like, shows that she does view him as someone very close to her. I'm curious if Hopper's friend-zoned, is what I'm saying.
I'm also curious about Steve and Nancy, now that Nancy and Jonathan are a thing. At the end of the season, it made it pretty clear that Steve kind of friend-zoned himself.
Yeah.
By...
we respect him so much.
Yeah, you do.
And then the last scene where he's, like, pulling up to the snowball and he looks at her and he's just like, he knows he friend-zoned himself on purpose.
But he seems to have accepted the fact that she's better with Jonathan.
Yeah, which must be, like, so hard to do.
Right.
So.
Yeah, especially as a young guy. But I'm really interested in seeing where he goes because...
Yeah.
I have a feeling him and Dustin are going to become, like, best friends. They're going to do movie nights together. And that might actually be a point of contention for the other guys. Like,
yeah, maybe.
Now you're hanging out with, like, the older kids, Dustin. Like, what? You're not a part of the party.
It's going to be his sensei.
He's going to be a...
Senpai.
He's going to be a sensei, yes.
Oh, one thing, speaking of Jonathan, this is really unfortunate, but the actor who plays him is English and apparently had, like, traces of coke on him when he was coming for the premiere, and he wasn't able to make it to the premiere, and now there are rumors that it might be difficult to even get him back to the States for filming. And it's not like he's super famous. It's not like he's Johnny Depp or Robert Downey Jr. where, you know, certain things will be overlooked, you know, for the sake of it. So I'm curious to know if that's going to affect filming or production or even the plot. Because he's an extremely crucial character to the show for the most part. I don't know about moving forward, but it seems like it, because it seems like the show is just as much about Nancy and the older kids group as it is about the party.
I agree. It'll be interesting seeing where that goes, because
it's really
obviously,
unfortunate.
it sucks for this actor.
Yeah,
he's young. He's 23. He's done some stupid things, obviously, but that shouldn't deprive him of a career in Hollywood.
Yeah, and especially since he showed a lot of talent this past season.
It would be really crappy if he isn't allowed back to film. Although I don't think that's even in the question.
Really?
I don't think it's
You're
that
smuggling
bad.
coke into the U.S.?
He wasn't smuggling coke. He had trace
mule.
amounts of it. Literally every article
It's a British
I read.
mule.
Trace amounts of coke. Anyway, let's not talk about that. Actually, if you guys know anything about
Yeah, how that stuff works. We don't really. We've never tried to
international drug
smuggle
relations.
coke. I've never seen cocaine in my entire life, so I know nothing about these things.
Let us know. I wonder if Dustin's monster is going to come back, because they did kind of show it like just kind of like keeling over next to the
Mounds?
mounds.
No, it wasn't mounds. It was.
Or it was Three Musketeers bar. But all the other ones, all the other monsters
Were running.
were climbing. They were climbing up to that gate and like jumping to them, and then they all fell except for the one that was in the tunnels next to the chocolate bar.
That's true. Snap.
He was just taking a nap.
What's his name again? Dart. Hashtag Dart survives.
Hashtag Dart survives.
Dart the Demidog.
I really like that subplot from season 2. Just had to throw that out there.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Now that Barb has her justice for Barb is a thing now. Will we ever see justice for Muse?
No. We will not see justice for Muse, because the mom already got another cat. You saw her, like, feeding a kitten at the end of the season. She moved on.
She did.
Muse, you're just dead. You got eaten. It's really sad, actually. That sucks. I like how Dustin was just so casual. He was like, he ate my cat. It wasn't even, like, sadness. It was, like, shock and irritation.
It was annoyance. Like, he ate my cat. Like a dog eating a shoe.
Which was ridiculous. I think there should be... I really liked the scene where they talked about Bob was actually the one who started the AV Club to begin with, and that's what brought the whole crew together. And I thought that's really cool that they threw that in there. Like, he actually... Because I know a lot of people at the beginning of the season were like, oh, like, I don't trust him. And Dakota said that. He was like, I think Bob's bad. And then Bob turned out to be really good, and...
It was just...
Like, was the founder of their club.
Samwise Gamgee.
Sam. Just doing his thing.
He can't carry the ring, but he can carry you. I have a feeling, this is just a hunch, Lucas is going to learn how to skateboard next season.
Oh, snap. It's time to get Callie in here.
You heard it here first, guys.
You heard it here first. He's going to be skating it up.
It's going to be totally tubular.
Totally tubular.
Now that Mike knows Eleven is alive, and obviously Hopper trusts Mike, I think Mike will be allowed to visit her.
Yeah, that's true.
Or the guys will visit her. And actually, that would be...
They can relate to each other a lot more, too, than other characters.
I think that might be a point of contention with Hopper, actually. Like, the kids just claiming...
Crowding at his house.
Crowding his like, grandfather's hideout. Every now and then to like conspire. Like I have a feeling that's gonna be their new spot.
Yeah, totally. Because it was it used to be Mike's basement, and now it's gonna transition to their cool hideout.
Yeah.
Totes.
Of course, plot wise, we don't know exactly what's gonna be happening in the next couple seasons, but it's fun to speculate. And if you guys have any spoilers, or not spoilers, if you guys have any ideas as far as like where this can go, any theories, we'd love to talk about them. Any good theories out there that you're like willing to like share with us, we might even make a video on. Who knows? Yeah,
that would be cool. One thing that just dawned on me is that if Hopper dies next season, then I don't think Elle will be allowed to process her birth certificate, because he would be her adoptive father, and if not, then she's going to have no one to process that last name under. So let's just really hope that Hopper doesn't die next season, because that would really suck all around, because I really like him, first of all, even though he was dumber than piss, jumping in the tunnels by himself, like, without any game plan at all. That was really dumb, but I still really like Hopper. He's awesome.
It's part of the drama, Jen. You just kind of have to, like, put your mind by the door and just let it happen. There's certain things in movies and TV shows you kind of have to, like, just roll your eyes.
Well, people just do really dumb stuff in general. Like, if you've done that before, where you've, like, gone through the day in a way that didn't make any sense, and you're like, oh, crap, I should have... In retrospect, I did that in a really stupid way. I feel like that's going to be one of his, like, once things cool down, he's like, why did I do that? Why did I do that?
I'm curious about what's going to happen to all those basically tunnels in the ground. Like, will those just disappear and like dirt will fill back into their places? Will all those...
Yeah, that's true.
Will all those farms like...
Or will the kids just have like a way of getting around?
That'd be pretty
Although
cool.
are they still going to be really dangerous and full of like that mucusy nasties?
I feel like if there are those tunnels all around Hawkins and like suddenly the Upside Down just closes so you can't really reach those and all that becomes empty space, I feel like there's going to be a lot of like holes opening up in Hawkins.
Sinkholes. Yikes. That would be really bad.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else that we might be seeing in the next couple of seasons. Obviously, the monster's coming back.
Mm-hmm. And he's angry. He's very angry.
Potentially a beloved demi-dog.
Dirt. Some interracial teen love.
I have a feeling Papa's going to be back. But other than that, and the fact that... like, And 8. Other than that, it's pretty much all speculation at this point. But again, if you have any theories, let us know. We'd love to hear them. We'll talk about them. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Definitely hit the notification button so you are filled in whenever we come out with a new video.
I can't hear filled in without thinking of Philip DeFranco.
Okay.
We can't say that. It's his now. Patent.
So you are notified when we put a new video out. Also, you'll be notified when we put our Geekly polls out. So
yeah.
We're not sure what we're doing for next week's Geekly poll, but stay tuned for that because it'll be interesting.
So ring that bell.
Tomorrow we talk about Will Call. So again,
Will
subscribe.
Call.
We'll talk about that later. Bye, guys.
Bye.